Yeah. So when I got a bit older, I set a goal for myself that I would read the Bible from cover to cover. Now, I don't precisely remember how old I was when I did that. I was somewhere between the age of 16 and 18. Anyhow, this was not the experience I thought it was going to be. I decided to read it from beginning to end. And I was just repulsed and horrified and amazed. And it really wasn't what I thought it was going to be, alright? So, I mean, the Gospels, the bits with Jesus in them, yeah, fine. I could get with most of that. I was totally fine with that. And a lot of people who are Christian will choose pretty much just to focus on those aspects because they're the sort of more, the less offensive parts. Some of it is actually really inspirational, like, some of the little parables and things, really are very meaningful, and I still find meaning in them. Some of the, little sayings that are attributed to Jesus, are really useful, in thinking about life and how to live your life, just little ones like, remove the plank from your own eye. Remove the plank from your own eye before removing the splinter from your brother's eye. That kind of stuff. Really quite useful. But, as Jesus says, I've not come to change one word of the law. So, the New Covenant doesn't change the law from the Old Testament. That's my understanding. If anyone's got an amazing way to explain to me that that's not what was being said, then go for it. That'd be excellent. But yeah, so I just couldn't embrace it, all of the commandments to desecrate holy sites and kill people, enslave people, and the fact that women are essentially just chattel and possessions, not cool with me at all. All the prescriptions for how people are supposed to live their lives in ways that are completely unharmful to other people. Harsh punishments for doing things like if a man has sex with his wife while she's menstruating, they're both to be exiled. Yeah. Anyhow. But the problem was that by the time I rejected all of this, I'd already taken into myself a Christian framework, if that makes any sense. So to me, rejecting Christianity and the Bible meant that I had to sort of go the other way. So it was like I accepted the sort of belief that Christianity is right and good, and if I rejected that, then I was bad and evil, wrong and evil. So I sort of went along quite a dark path. Now, during my teens, I had also started studying comparative religion, so just looking at everything, from like Hare Krishna, Buddhism, all kinds of stuff, and occultism as well, ceremonial magic, and just sort of the unexplained and mysteries of the world, that kind of stuff. So I started kind of pursuing more occultic things at the same time as I believed that those things were on the wrong side of the spiritual war, and that caused me a whole bunch of problems, and that that along with the element of my personality, which basically often decides not to follow common sense, so I made a choice essentially to go down a dark road and see how dark that road could get. And I found that road can get very dark when you are focusing on, I guess, what people in the New Age would call like low frequency, dense vibrations or whatever. I'm sure people from other faith systems have other words for that. But yeah, those things in my experience are there. There is a negative side to spirituality. It exists, but I've also found that you have to be on that wavelength to get in contact with them. I have not had any of those experiences since I decided to be a positive, happy, creative person. So, yeah. But I think that, when they bring out, unless it's completely fake, which is quite possible, but, if they're bringing out these ex-occultists and they tell these horrible stories, right, I don't doubt that that's that person's experience, either whether it is real spiritual experience or purely psychological experience brought on by the incompatibility of their existing belief structure and the new sort of practices that they were putting on top of it. So for me, even though, and as time went on, I studied witchcraft as well, and paganism. I bought a lot of books about paganism and witchcraft and studied the history of it, the sort of history of both like high magic and low magic in Europe over the last, 500 or so years, like from witch trials onwards, essentially. But I couldn't, until I got to the point where I could sort of wipe the slate clean and stop being preoccupied with Christian theology and have new experiences, and embrace other things. I sort of removed the blinkers from my eyes. That was when I could actually get involved with witchcraft in any real sense. And the benefits of it, for me, as a belief structure, as a practice, have been amazing, very, very healing, very affirming to me as a woman, as an individual. There's a place for me in it, an important place, not important as in important over others, important to me, and I'm responsible for myself, for my own morality and actions. I am 100% accountable. There is no one waiting around to absolve me of guilt or, remove my responsibility in any way. I have to make my ethical decisions one by one and stand by them. And I think that is very empowering. And it's brought me a lot of goodness and a sense of well-adjustment. So there you go, there's my story. Hopefully it made some sense. If anyone's interested in a sort of more in-depth sort of overview of what I went through, how I got to where I'm at, I did a series of videos, did 2 videos called From Hell to Avalon, One Witch's Journey, and you can find them on my channel. So, love and light, blessed be. See ya.